Hi Muses. I wanted to come on quickly and just catch up and talk. Happy Easter. How is isolation life for you? It's been a season, right? I have just finished up my last workshop for Soulful Spirals, and it's just been a much needed space of solace and connection, and a reminder that if you make the effort, if you choose, if you decide, if you actually create the space to connect and to allow, that connection of spirit and inspiration and musings to come through you, amazing things can come. You can still be inspired, you can still create, you can still paint, you can still make beautiful paintings, you can still work out things that I've known for so long that it is so much a part of the way I work that I think of it as intuition, when really there is principles and rules and learning from mistakes and experiments and happy accidents and curiosity and taking the courageous steps forward. That's all come together into this being, which then creates the artwork that I create, and just giving myself that space to do that. And then anytime I'm feeling frustrated, right, it's just, everyone's at home and I really miss being able to go out and having space and just like space to think and space to paint and space to just sit quietly, having somebody else serve me food for a bit, and I can sit there and then I can walk away and somebody else will clean up those plates, getting my hair done, getting my lashes done, just being able to connect with people, all that kind of stuff, but also just having the space the autonomy, the flexibility, all the things that I feel like that I thought was necessities. That was just part of my life. This is my process. This is the way things have to work. And it turns out it was just luxuries. There were just luxuries that I had the privilege of being able to have in my life, like space and time and autonomy and being able to just drop by the shops and pick up whatever I've forgotten last minute, not having to make a plan, all those kind of things. Turns out was a luxury. But at the same time, do I want to give up those luxuries when I have them available to me again? And then it made me think about how, for many of you muses who aren't creating daily the way I am and feel so connected to your creativity the way I am, you treat it like it's a luxury, right? Like you treat it like one day when I have time, when certain things are in place. Let me just share this with the Mindful Muses, because I was like, no, I need to share this, because I can feel myself dropping into like, the things I want to say. Are you giving yourself what you say you really want? That's really what should be the title of this live stream. Are you giving yourself what you say that you want in your life? Right? And so you are treating your creativity and this sense of connection and feel inspired and be able to do something with your inspiration like it's a luxury, like it's something that once everybody else's needs are met, once everything else is perfectly in place, once I have the space, once I have the time, once I have all the tools that I need, then I can do the work, then I can create the thing, then I'm allowed to have fun. And we make the mistake of thinking, because something is a luxury, therefore I am not allowed to have it unless whatever the conditions are. And we're learning now in isolation time, yes, that we actually don't require that much. A lot of the luxuries that we had, that was a necessity, that we thought was like our right and a necessity of life, to just be able to drop by the shops whenever we want and get our hair done whenever we want, and our nails, or being able to just, hang out at the shops or whatever it is, was a luxury, and we don't actually need it. But I hope for a lot of you, especially if you've been following me and you see your creativity as a part of your spirituality, as a way of connecting with the divine, is that You actually need it. Even though it feels like a luxury, you actually need it in order to fully live a full life. Because right now we don't have any of these luxuries, and we're totally okay as long as we're safe and healthy, but we're not feeling like we're living a fully thriving, fully expressed, up to our highest full potential life. And yet we're also given this space and time now. No one's coming over for dinner. You don't have to stress about the next social event and how you don't have enough time because of this person's party, and your kids have this, sports thing that you have to drop them off, or you got to drop them off at school and the school pickup and all these kind of things. We actually have more time now and more space now to think and to connect and to reach out for the things like connecting to spirit, connecting to our creativity, finally doing the things that we said we would do, once everything was perfect. But really what you're saying is once I'm feeling more confident, once I'm not that scared. And now I hope we're feeling there are scarier things to be scared of than finally taking that one baby step forward towards this new chapter that you want to apply to your creative life. Maybe to finally start painting again. Maybe it is actually to start taking your art and your painting seriously and start thinking about bringing it into a business online, or that you've actually bringing all your stuff online and posting on social media and talking about it. Now is the time. This is where if you could give yourself the sacred space of allowing creativity to flow through, allowing connection to spirit and God, allowing yourself to sit and wait, however impatiently, but for inspiration to come and actually put brush to paper. I mean, that's what I've learned with my Soulful Spiral students. In the workshop, we gave ourselves 5 days. It was an hour a day. We just hung out. I talked about all kinds of stuff. And there's only so much I could talk about in terms of color and composition and mark making and all of those things about sharing how I paint my watercolors. But more than that, it was really about checking in and noticing, are you giving yourself the space? Are you allowing yourself? So they were coming in live to those workshops and giving themselves an hour to learn and to really just focus on painting and figure out what colors they like and how their brushes work and how painting works. But more than that, also giving themselves the space to experiment and to be uncomfortable and to make works that feel like, it's not as beautiful as Brenda's, or it looks like a 5-year-old did it, or it's, ugly, but being okay with that, being kind to yourself, being patient with that, and being curious enough and open enough to allow yourself the freaking space to actually do that, to actually play and have fun, but at the same time be focused and be in the zone and do the creative thing that isn't for the children or for somebody else or for a present for some friend or whatever it is, but purely just for you. Because when you feel completely connected, inspired and capable and open to seeing new things and still being able to be uncomfortable because you're doing something new. And anytime you're learning something new, it's always going to be uncomfortable. It's always going to be ugly at the beginning, but being okay with that and then taking those steps forward anyway gives you this sense of confidence and almost assurance that you can relax if something else new and chaotic and crazy lands in your life, because you just proved to yourself that you can take steps forward, even if it's something small like playing with paint on paper and giving yourself the reverence. And I'm saying reverence so that it's respect, the respect that you would give to your spouse because they need to work from home, right? My husband needs to work from home and it's really annoying because there's too much noise in the house. Or the respect that you would give now to the teachers who had to teach your children, and before you'll be like, they're just sending them off to school, and now you realize the work involved. But also giving yourself that respect of giving yourself the space to sit down. Mummy is going to do some painting time now, just for fun, just so that she can feel like she has something just for herself. And not just for herself as in it needs to be chocolate and a wine and watching Netflix, but no, actually creating something and allowing inspiration and creativity to flow through you and then coming out into something beautiful, maybe not as beautiful, maybe it's a bit ugly as you're experimenting. The stuff we were doing where we were experimenting with stuff isn't that great. It wasn't, pretty and something that you can bring home and frame, but it was still a chance to see the possibilities, right? Like they're going, oh, this didn't quite work, and is this the ugly? But now I've noticed this thing, and now I know I can notice this thing and take it on to my next painting, and to my next painting, and to the next painting, and improve that way. And I always say with creativity, yes, it's a great outlet, it's a great little hobby, but it can also be a vehicle for you to actually practice being uncomfortable, trying something new, to listen to those voices of fear and perfectionism going, oh my God, look at what you're doing. Why are you wasting your time? You really have better things that you could be doing with your life. And just seeing it and going, no, I'm going to just enjoy it purely for the sake of enjoying the process, and then seeing it all the way through, and then finishing off the painting. That was the thing I did today. Today was the last day of the workshop. And the message I really wanted to pass across was just like, even though you're seeing it and you're like, look, this could be better, there's so much more I can improve, I will do that next time, is to make sure that you fully finish it, and to give yourself that reverence, to give yourself that respect, that even though you know that this painting isn't the best that you could do because now you know so much better, you still finish the race. You still, even though you're not going to win the race, even though painting isn't a race, but like the type A's among us and those who need to feel like we're being productive and doing something with purpose, and I'm totally all for purpose. This is why I have my free group, Mindful Muses. So if you want to connect to your creative life in a way that is about finding joyful purpose in your life in connection to your creativity, definitely join my group. My free group, there's like free resources and trainings in there. They get all the specials and stuff. Find the link on the header of my page. But to finish the race, to try as best as you can with what you have, and to finish it all the way so that you feel that sense of satisfaction that you've done it. And then knowing that you can totally do better next time, but at least you didn't leave it half finished. That you didn't leave it going, oh, you know, this was completely ruined because I did this thing that I hadn't planned, and so now I'm just going to leave it so I can start again. But then you end up starting again because you learned something else new, and then you start another one, and you end up with a whole bunch of half-finished things. And then what happens is that your resistance and that inner critic and that perfectionist voice, or when you're feeling a little doubtful about your ability to just being able to show up, right, that fear voice comes along and goes, look at all this half-finished stuff. See, this is proof that you can never finish your work. You shouldn't bother trying. You're wasting your time. So this is why I'm always saying, finish it, do as much as you can, give yourself the reverence and respect for this piece of artwork. Even though you know you can do better next time, and you will, you still finish it and give yourself that space to connect, to create, to learn all the lessons that you need to learn. Finish that piece of work so that you can go, this is done and it's the best I can do now, and I'm bringing all my lessons with me to the next one. You know, what else did I say? I said so many good things inside Soulful Spirals, and I'll probably remember them as I go. But the biggest thing I wanted to remember, and I want to capture here in this video, even for my future self, is that I was feeling unsure about whether or not to do this watercolor workshop thing. It's virtual, like how I'm going to do the angles of the camera, and the freaking children at home all the time, there's too much noise, and how I'm going to coordinate it. And I've definitely learnt my lessons. Like I know now I probably need to squeeze it at different times, especially if the kid's going to be home continuously now with homeschooling for a bit. I would do it differently. But also now that all the videos are done, they were fantastic, and I can totally offer it as a self-study if you want that. It'll be even a lower cost, so it'll be even more affordable. But because I gave myself that space and I went, I've decided I'm going to give myself that week, and I'm going to make this offering, this workshop. I'm going to share what I know with these people who stepped up, and they were investing, they were fantastic, and they were open to connect. And when there is this openness, there's this collective energy of creating, and that's the beauty. This is why I have my community, my Mindful Muses, or my paid membership, Muse Mojo, where when you come together as a collective and you realize that you're not alone with your creativity and all that kind of stuff, you can create so much more. You recognize that inspiration is all around you, and even though you feel like you're feeling stuck and you're not feeling inspired and you're feeling stuck in a rut, you can access that collective creative juju because it's always been around you. You're just got to work through the junk and the gunk that's blocking the flow, and then step back in. And so because I gave myself that space to create, all this amazing stuff came out. And then I'm reminded as I'm creating it, hey, I have access to so much inspiration and knowledge and value and content and creativity. And there is so much that I know that I didn't give myself credit for because it's become so much part of me that it's now part of my intuition, it's part of what I am. It was no longer a luxury. It's no longer an extra bonus thing. It's just part of who I am. Just like I'm noticing now, the things that I thought was just totally part of my life was a luxury. But in the end, I want to have those luxuries in my life. I want to be able to just drop by and not meal plan and be able to just buy whatever I need for dinner that day once we can be free to go out and stay healthy and be safe for everyone, right? Definitely stay your distance right now because it's for the community, it's for your family, etc. And same with painting and creating and giving yourself, like with the watercolors, it was a 1 hour workshop every day. But I know for me, as I'm painting, let's say like an actual proper painting, right? Or like the one behind me, or like an actual, watercolor paintings. These were all made with little sessions of 5-10 minutes here and there. 20 minutes here, and I'm always seeing, even though I'm not the biggest fitness person ever, well, at all, right? I should probably pick that up, but you only need those 10-15 minutes, provided that you're connecting daily, provided that you're using it and allowing that creative flow. Maybe it's actually in your cooking more now. I think a lot of people are cooking a lot more now because you can't go out to eat as much, and you're connecting to your creativity that way and not noticing it. And so now's the chance to notice it. Now is the chance to give yourself that sacred reverence to connect. And as you're connecting to inspiration, instead of just consuming it through Netflix and scrolling online and stuff, is seeing that you can be the one that's creating. You can be the one that can start putting those steps forward towards the next chapter of who you want to be, whether that is finally being the artist and the creative that you know is inside you, and to use that in a traditionally creative way and start painting, or maybe in a non-traditional way and actually start stepping up your creative work into an online business, or to start offering your work for sale and really take your work seriously and building up a portfolio so that you are clear about what your creative voice is and you know how to talk about it. You learn about how to do marketing and sales and really work around the mindset of what that means and what that looks like. Those are the next chapters, and you know it. I think deep down you already know what it is, and it's been nudging at you and it's been calling at you, and we're in a season where we're at home more and there is more time and space, and we try to fill it with, memes and scrolling and watching more Tiger King or whatever it is, right? When really now's the time where you can carve out a corner on the dining table because nobody else is coming for dinner, and you don't need all 6 seats because there's only 4 of you in the house, and so you can carve one of the seats as your little painting space. Or this is the time to really start getting serious about painting consistently, so you have a body of work, and really investing in a mentor or a coach. Hello, that's what I'm here for, to really talk through what are my next steps to become a person that's going to sell my art online and have a business. What is really involved, instead of reading all the free stuff and Googling and YouTubing and just kind of waffling around. This is the time to give yourself the sacred reverence, to make that decision, to draw the line in the sand, to take yourself seriously and take those dreams seriously, and actually get into that space where you realize, yes, you are capable. You have more capacity that you're giving yourself credit for. You have everything that you need within you right now, and you can do what you can with what you have right now and take those baby steps forward. Whether that is contacting me and asking me how you can work with me. There is a mini Muse Momentum intensive where we just talk for 90 minutes and map out a plan for your next 90 days, whether that is building up body of work or really setting up your creative business. Joining my Mindful Muses, there's free resources and videos like this and trainings where we talk about creative living and what your creativity is. And I'm going to be dropping in there next few weeks. I think I'm just trying to wait for the details of this and work out the dates and stuff of creative prompts to really step into your creativity and to really step it up in this time and space. Let this season of being in isolation be your most creative season, be the most courageous season that you have had in your year, in your life, where you finally step up. And by stepping up, it always feels like such a big leap, when really sometimes it's just a teeny tiny step. Sometimes it's just a drawing of the line of okay, this is it. I'm going to take my creative work seriously. I'm going to finally carve out some space to finally get back into my creative roots that I used to have. And I'm going to do that for myself now, despite the chaos, despite the business, despite all the messiness in life right now. Because I am here to say there is beauty in the mess, that you can create in the chaos, that in the chaos, if you choose it, if you decide, you can connect back within, that the anchors that you're looking for in order to hold you and to keep you and to feel safe amongst all the craziness and the fear and the ocean of doubt is already within you, and you already have access to that sense of divine, of inspiration, to your muse. You just have to choose to do that and to give yourself that sacred space and the reverence and the respect to actually do it, and to respect your creativity and to respect your own ability to do that, because you probably already know and just forgetting, because it's so much a part of you, all the things that you've overcome, all the things that you've been able to do, and all the amazing things that you are currently already doing. Using that, and then take that step forward. Whether it is just jumping into my next, I might do another one. Let me know if you're really interested. Definitely comment below. Like, yes, I would love to do a watercolor workshop with you. Join my Mindful Muses Facebook group, definitely. There's a collective of amazing muses in there, of both creative teachers, or people who just want to explore their creativity, or people who want to bring their creative work online and to sell it as a business. I'm there for you. That's my community. I want to build a little collective for everyone. So it's like a community hall, even though now we can't hang out in studios. So that can be your virtual studio to hang out with other creatives. Or talk to me about chatting and scheduling a mini intensive, a Muse Momentum intensive, where we can really map out a plan, really dig deep to what it is that's holding you back, really get clear on where it is that you want to go, and then map out your next 90 days so that you know what you need to do next and to focus on and not get distracted. A lot of the distractions that feel really reasonable and logical about why you can't start yet or keep going or actually do the thing is just resistance talking. Sometimes it feels like, yes, a time limitation, it's a physical limitation, it's a, there are people who are physically limited and they can only move their eyes and they still made a painting. I just saw a post where there's someone who just made a painting, even though he can only paint with his eyes because he has ALS, right? So no, there are no physical limitations. Oh, you don't have enough time. Actually, now there's no school drop-offs. There are no people coming over for dinner. There is no weddings to attend, unfortunately. You have more time than you probably had before. You don't have enough space. I paint in a tiny little space. I painted more paintings when I had a newborn at home because I chose to and I decided to, and I knew in the end that if I just made that decision and just decided to just take one baby step forward at a time, just like how babies learn to walk, that is how I create the bigger masterpiece, instead of completely allowing that idea to completely overwhelm me. That's what the mini Muse Momentum Intensive is going to be about, where we map it out and we know what we need to focus on and not get distracted by resistance and its lies. DM me for more information and we can really chat to see whether it's going to be a good fit for you, because that's not just 90 minutes chat. You get 2 weeks of voice and text messaging afterwards to support you as you implement it as well. And I know for me, even in my journey, it was always just one or two phrases, one reaching out, one little mini conversation of like asking for help. I'm not sure, this is the story I'm telling myself, and having someone who isn't emotionally attached to my baggage and my stories really shining a light and reminding me what my bigger calling was, what my bigger goal was, what my higher self would desire for myself, and to remind me how I'm more capable than I'm giving myself credit for. And just that one phrase, one little talk, and having a plan with someone, and someone who can be in my pocket for 2 weeks after to really get that momentum going. Once you get that momentum going, it's so much easier than to keep going, because I bet you have more discipline than you realize. You definitely have way more space and time than you are acknowledging. And now it's just a time to decide and to give yourself that space and reverence to connect to the inspiration. You're feeling it, you're feeling all that inspiration and that flow, and now to do something with that. Cool. I'm going to leave you. I want to go hunt down some hot cross buns. Enjoy your Easter. Message me your questions. Join Mindful Muses. The link is in the header, or it'll be in the comments below. I'm going to add that in now. And then talk to me about the Mini Muse Momentum Intensive. If you want to chat and really get supported and really get serious and really get down to it, we can cover so much in 90 minutes. I believe in you. I know that you're a muse. You are connected. You are so loved by God. Use that. Use that inspiration. You can create amazing things. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.